And while we are waiting for the next ATAC-MS attack on Russian and North Korean positions, in the Kursk region, paratroopers and mechanized troops fought off two assaults in which Russians used ATVs and Akhmat armored vehicles. One of the assaults took place at the position of the 95th Separate Air Assault Brigade. The Russian command deployed its Marines of the 810th Separate Marine Brigade to attack the Ukrainian paratroopers. The Russian Marines tried to break through using a large number of Akhmat armored vehicles. However, the Ukrainian paratroopers managed to blow up several vehicles, stop the convoy, and force the Russians to retreat. The surviving Russian infantry were killed by various types of attack drones. The paratroopers continue to destroy the enemies on their territory. Once again, the 810th Marine Brigade is getting the boot from the Palestinian paratroopers, a military representative shared. The second assault took place at the position of the 225th Separate Assault Battalion. The Russian command sent Russian infantry to attack on all-terrain vehicles without any armored support. Ukrainian mechanized troops decided to stop the assault only with the help of FPV drones, which caught up with the ATVS and hit the Russians. The Russians organized the first attack against the paratroopers near the village of Mariivka, and the second against the 225th Brigade near the village of Nizhny Klin. At the same time, reconnaissance drones detected Russian stormtroopers in advance, which helped FPV drone operators start destroying the attackers at precise coordinates. Reconnaissance drones locate the enemy in time, making it possible to organize an accurate response. And while we are watching how in the Kursk region, Ukrainian operators from 8th Special Operation Forces Regiments UAREGTEAM destroyed a massive amount of Russian equipment, let's see what is going on here. The ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia has reached a significant milestone, with Ukrainian military operations targeting Russia's Kursk region. This strategic initiative highlights Ukraine's evolving military tactics and exposes vulnerabilities in Russia's border defenses, marking a shift in the dynamics of the conflict. Ukrainian operations in Kursk began with precision strikes and cross-border raids aimed at disrupting Russian logistics and undermining its ability to sustain the war effort. The objectives were clear: destabilize critical supply lines, challenge Moscow's narrative of domestic security, and draw Russian forces away from the front lines in Ukraine. Using a combination of drones, sabotage units, and long-range artillery, Ukrainian forces focused on military installations, railways, and fuel depots while minimizing damage to civilian infrastructure. The Kremlin quickly responded by deploying additional troops and reinforcing air defenses in the Kursk region. However, the countermeasures revealed systemic weaknesses within the Russian military. Redeploying troops to Kursk further strained Russia's already overstretched supply lines, while intensified air defenses struggled to neutralize Ukrainian drones, which continued to inflict significant damage. Reports of low morale among Russian troops compounded the challenges of mounting an effective counteroffensive. In a surprising development, North Korean troops were reportedly deployed to support Russian operations in the region. While the exact scale of their involvement remains unclear, evidence suggests that North Korean personnel are not only providing logistical and advisory support, but also engaging in combat alongside Russian forces. This escalation underscores deepening military ties between Moscow and Pyongyang, raising alarms about the international dimensions of the conflict. The United States responded decisively to North Korea's involvement by approving the use of ATACMS missiles for Ukraine. These long-range, high-precision weapons significantly enhance Ukraine's capability to strike deep into Russian territory, including critical military targets in Kursk. The deployment of ATACMS missiles marks a major escalation in Western military support, reinforcing Ukraine's counteroffensive efforts and delivering a clear message to Moscow and Pyongyang that their collaboration will have consequences. Ukrainian operations in Kursk have already begun to yield results, with disruptions to Russian supply chains, weakening troop morale, and increased domestic pressure on the Kremlin. The addition of ATACMS missiles promises to further amplify these effects, giving Kyiv a significant strategic advantage. As the conflict continues to evolve, the involvement of external actors like North Korea signals a dangerous expansion of its scope. What began as a regional war now carries the potential to reshape global power dynamics as Ukraine leverages new capabilities and Russia struggles to adapt to a battlefield that grows more complex with each passing day. Russia's fear of ATACMS missiles stems from their unique capabilities and the strategic advantage they provide Ukraine. These long-range, precision-guided missiles can strike targets up to 300 kilometers away, enabling Ukraine to hit critical Russian military infrastructure far behind the front lines. This includes supply depots, command centers, air bases, and rail hubs, assets that were previously considered safe from Ukrainian attacks. One of the key reasons for concern is the ATACMS's ability to disrupt logistics. Russia heavily relies on long and vulnerable supply lines to sustain its forces, and a precise strike on a key junction or depot could cripple operations for weeks. Additionally, the psychological impact of ATACMS is profound. By rendering no part of the battlefield truly safe, these missiles force Russian commanders to disperse assets, slowing down their ability to coordinate and respond effectively. ATACMS can also challenge Russia's dominance in occupied territories. For example, previously untouchable positions in Crimea or deeper inside Russian-held areas of Ukraine are now within range. This shifts the dynamics of the war, allowing Ukraine to go on the offensive in ways that directly threaten Russia's territorial gains. Strategically, ATACMS disrupt Russia's sense of control over escalation. Their use demonstrates that the West is willing to increase its support for Ukraine in response to provocations, such as the involvement of North Korean troops. This complicates Russia's calculus, forcing Moscow to weigh the risk of further escalation against the growing costs of its invasion. In short, ATACMS missiles are not just weapons, but game changers. They grant Ukraine the ability to strike where it hurts most, deep within Russia's operational depth, tilting the balance of power in favor of Kyiv and further exposing the vulnerabilities of an already overstretched Russian military. President Zelensky visited the frontline city of Pokrovsk. He met with the 25th Separate Airborne Brigade defending the city. He talked to the defenders and presented them with awards. This is a tense area. Only thanks to the strength of the soldiers, the east is not completely occupied by Russia. The enemy gets a response every day, he said.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.